guys, okay, so I wanted to come on here and just show you guys my tracker system. This is something, as you can see, that I've only put into place since July. Before that, and my entire coaching business this far, I was tracking invites on a pen and paper system. And so I just had like a notebook where I would write down people I would talk to, people I would invite to the opportunity. And inviting and tracking your invites is huge because the fortune is in the follow-up, right? I posted that video that Lindsay Matway shared on her stories the other day that said that the average number of times people need to hear something before they'll buy is 7. And that's huge because oftentimes we think we invite somebody once, they ghost us, and then we never want to talk to them again, right? We're worried. We're like, oh, what if they didn't like my invite? If they're still following you and they're still watching your stories, they're there for a reason. And the fortune truly is in the follow-up because I guarantee you, even if you look at your own journey, I didn't invite you just one time before you said yes. It was multiple times of inviting you to the opportunity, inviting you to this program, and then you watching me throughout that time period before you started. And so if you are not keeping track of the people you're inviting, then you're not going to have anybody to follow up with. And we love to rely on Facebook Messenger and Instagram Messenger to keep a list of follow-ups for us. But what if that crashed? You would lose all of that information and those people you've talked to, and then you would be starting at ground zero. And so just like anything, this is an activity that is intentional. It is, yes, an extra effort on top of sending me invites. And there are days where I'm like, I do not want to track my invites. Hence, from about June of this year to January, I don't think I tracked a thing, and I'm kicking myself now. And so it is an activity that you have to get intentional about doing, but pen and paper was no longer working for me, which is why I fell off the wagon for that long, because I am working my business everywhere. I'm not just sitting down at my desk. I'm at the farm on weekends. I'm at Blake's house on weekends. I'm at his parents' house. We are traveling on weekends. I'm working in pockets of time between meetings at work. Like, my schedule is very diverse, and so I needed a tracker system that would work with me because a pen and paper system, I had to have that book everywhere I went. Whereas this spreadsheet, um, I have Google Sheets on my phone. I can literally open it up as I'm inviting on the go, or I can simply screenshot the invites I'm sending and then add to it once I'm on my computer. But again, it's taking that time to get intentional about tracking because everybody in this business tells you you need to track and successfully leaves clues. But B, it's so you have those list of follow-ups, right? And yes, it's going to take more time, but it won't take, if these follow-ups now, tracking these follow-ups means that it might lead to a potential client or a potential coach, in my mind, it's worth it then. So there we go. So I'm just going to break down my spreadsheet for you. It is very, very basic. I'm sure that there's more diverse spreadsheets out there and more ways that you could do this, but I am very simple. I wanted something simple. And so July, you can see I was like just starting this spreadsheet. I just tracked my invites and my connections and people that I had never, people that I followed but had never reached out to before, and I wanted to start building that relationship. The people in yellow in this column here are people that ordered their program and are joining me with a program with Morning Meltdown in this case. August, I got a little bit more into things. Obviously, my invite list, I went ham on the invites in August, and it shows I hit high Success Club numbers. The people in the green are people that I was chatting with, that I maybe sent a link to a video with. They were really interested, but never ended up committing. So those are like my key follow-ups because I'm like, these people were really, really interested. They just never purchased. And then again, the people in yellow are the people that purchased and that I have a relationship with that are in my groups. I always find this helpful because sometimes people fall off track or they're not participating in the groups. And so this is a way that I can look back and be like, where are these people at? Again, I've got connections in this box, people that I send a message to being like, hey, how are you? Thanks for watching my stuff. And then I've got coaching invites. And here's the thing, it's a lot harder for me to invite to coaching just flat out. But inviting to this coaching page right here, look at how many invites I popped out because, again, it is a no obligation invite. It is a free page with information. And so inviting them to that page, there's literally no obligation in you sending that invite. and they're free to follow it as they choose. So I really love that page for that reason. And again, I tracked everybody that I invited to the page. I tracked the person in yellow here signed up as a coach, and the people in green, again, were really, really interested in coaching, but maybe never made the leap. Same thing with September, and same thing now with October. I'm going to invite to the 6 week of the work info group, and so I do that here. I can make this spreadsheet blank and share it with you guys if you want. It's pretty simple. I'll just like then copy these 3 headers over for November, adding in what I need to, what's going on at the time. It's just a really good way to track, so I can go back here now when I want to invite to say 6 weeks of the work and be like, okay, who didn't commit to Morning Meltdown? And as you can see here, the months where I was just inviting, say July here, I was just inviting to Morning Meltdown 100, no info group, no flash sale, no nothing. There was an obligation behind my invite. I didn't invite as much. And I also didn't track the whole month. But here, September, in that flash sale group, there was no obligation. It was a sale. These were all people that were interested, that I took all of these names in this list from my old pen and paper book that I still have, that I still love, that I still refer back to. But all of these people were follow-ups from that book because I had invited them before. They were interested in a past program. Maybe they even committed to a past program but fell off the wagon. Look at how many invites I pumped out when there was no obligation. Okay, I gotta keep this short here. So finding those no obligation invites to get people involved. So this month, 6 weeks of the work info group. You can still rock that flash sale group if you want, or start a new flash sale. Maybe start an info group for whatever program you want to do. If you want help with that, let me know. I can definitely help. But this is just a simple way to track your invites that you can keep with you wherever you go. You always have your phone, therefore you can always have this with you. And again, it's something that you're going to have to put in the effort of actively tracking those invites. But like I said, doing the work now means that the payoff later is going to be huge when you can find a name from this sheet, follow up with them in about 2 minutes flat, and that could potentially turn into a new client.